Hello everybody and welcome back to the Detroit Tigers franchise here on MLB The Show 20, picking up here with this box score against the Minnesota Twins. We take a 9-2 loss in this one, giving up 4 runs in the final 3 innings. A little bit disappointing as we were in this thing, but Turnbull, not good. Chang, not good either. Looking at the next game against the Twins, we scored 3 in the 7th, which put us only 2 runs behind, but we gave those 2 runs back up in the 8th to lose by 4, 11-7. Yasiel Puig hit 2 home runs in this game. Maybe that increases possible trade value for the deadline coming up. But we are going to move into a game here against the Minnesota Twins, trying to avoid the sweep, as we have Yasiel Puig, who is just hot right now, along with Miguel Cabrera, who is also hot in this lineup. Nelson Barreto, one of the newer acquisitions to the squad, has been playing pretty well for us, and we'll see what can happen as we are 31-55, nowhere near playoff contention. Zach Godley has been one of our better pitchers, and he's like 1-7. That's not good, but he gets a strikeout right away to get through the first inning for himself. He will oppose Kenta Maeda of the Minnesota Twins. And Maeda, 6-6, kind of a middling year for him, and we're going to make it a little bit worse. Miguel Cabrera launches one over the left field wall. That thing is out of here. It's the 14th home run for Miguel Cabrera on the season. 407 feet of travel on that 2-run jack, which will give us a 2-0 lead against the Minnesota Twins. We would love to beat him here at Comerica Park in front of the Tiger faithful, and we'll see if we can get that done today for you. So Jonathan Schoop coming up now with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. He's going to actually strike out, but look at this. Garver throws it over the first base head, and that is going to allow Schoop to take second as well off of the throwing error. So now maybe CJ Cron can get something done. CJ Crone can get something done, and he does not, as he grounds out at first base. So now Mitch Garver going to strike out Zach Godley with his 8th strikeout of the afternoon. Now bottom 5th, and a 3-2 pitch is launched over the left field wall by Jorge Bonifacio. You'll love to see Bonifacio doing some things, and there he did it. A solo shot, only his 2nd homer of the year. 359 feet, just a little liner that just carried over the left field wall, and we'll take it. Bonifacio giving us a bigger lead at 3-0. So now Josh Donaldson going to strike out on the low changeup. Godley getting through the 7th inning with ease, and you'll love to see it. So does the mascot. Alex Avila, though, coming up in the top of the 8th inning. This should be a routine play for Puig, and he cannot make the play. Unbelievable. That is going to be a double, and it shouldn't have even been a hit. So Godley kind of mad about it. Puig and him would get into it in the locker room after the game. Here's a throw on to first, and that will get us out of, gets us the 2nd out of the top of the 8th inning, but still damage getting done as a run comes in. So Jorge Polanco coming up now. That is a shallow fly ball into center, but well taken care of out there to end the top of the 8th inning. So we move along with a 3-1 lead. Going to the bottom of the 8th, Miguel Cabrera lines one nicely, but that one is fielded cleanly for another out. So now Luis Arraez coming up, and he is going to ground over to short, and that is going to get taken care of for the first out of the 9th inning, as Godley looking to go complete game here. He's got to face Miguel Sano, who's 0 for 3 so far, and takes this thing deep to right field. Puig actually does end up making that catch. About time he did something out there in the field, huh? Here's Nelson Cruz. He's going to ground it over to Schoop at second, and Schoop taking his time. Still doesn't really make the best throw, but it takes care of him, and we will win this game 3-1 against the Minnesota Twins. Really good to see that we could at least take a game against the Twins this year. Zach Godley goes a complete game with 10 strikeouts. Just an absolutely brilliant performance from him. Maeda gave up all 3 runs for the Twins pitching staff. Cabrera with his 14th, Bonifacio with his 2nd. So now looking at some trades here pre-trade deadline, Ivan Nova lost his positioning when he got hurt. got sent down, so we might as well dump him off for a prospect. Then we've got a bunch of prospects in our minors that are actually old, and we are just going to move those guys along for a much younger prospect. Same thing with this trade here. Cameron Maben, Jordy Mercer, both guys that are not playing with the Major League squad, so we might as well bring in some young talent. We also go out and sign some young talent. Catcher Jackie Gray. He's a deep potential guy, but he definitely has power against left-handed pitching, so we'll see what he can do. Nelson Barreto, he was in the game before, but here he is. A 71B potential. This is a guy we can definitely use coming out of New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey, so I want to give my fellow New Jersey brethren a chance. He's got some great power from the third base position, so you'll love to see that. Then at center field, you got William Bunty. He has actually got a ton of potential coming from Jamaica. And then pitcher Manuel Gomez, a 71B. This is a guy we could definitely stick in AAA. Jordan Balazovic is definitely a guy we're thinking about. Some of these guys we did not sign yet, but we are thinking about it. And might be something for the trade deadline episode next episode. So let me know what you think of possibly picking those guys up. We only take 1 out of 3 against the Royals and move into a series against the LA Angels, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, that is. As we take a look here, they are 47-46, right on the cusp of 500, maybe competing for a wild card spot. We are clearly, obviously not. But Felix Pena will take the mound for them. He's had a decent year, surprisingly. And his first batter, Reyes, is going to go down swinging on the strikeout. So right away, Felix Pena picking up a strikeout. Now Yasiel Puig is going to ground one over to short, and that is going to get thrown away. Trying to start a double play ball. It doesn't happen, so we pick up an extra base runner, and then Cabrera is jammed. But that one bloops into right field, and it will bring a run home for us. So we're not going to complain. It's a good way to start for us. And then Jonathan Scope is going to lift this one into center field for the second out. We're going to attempt to bring a second run home, and it is going to be completed as Yasiel Puig will make it home before the tag. CJ Crone into left center field. Ow. What a grab. What a jump and grab. So that will stop the threat there as Michael Fulmer taking the mound for us since he's come up. He has been 0-2 with a 4 ERA, so not exactly the greatest run support for him as the defense behind him is at least working today with a nice double play ball. Now the 3-2 pitch on Trout. They're going to, of course, call that thing Trout's way as that one was right on the edge. So Trout will walk. Runners on the corners with 2 outs in the first, and that gets taken into left field. That'll easily bring home 1 run. So with 2 away on a 3-2 pitch to Justin Upton, he gets the call that time. A strike 3 call on Upton. And Fulmer gets out of the first, only allowing a single run. 2-1 in the bottom of the third now, and they're down the right field line. The Angels, just a really great hitting team, and the new acquisition, Anthony Rendon, with a nice hit there. The tag not in time. And that'll be another run and a tie game here with the Angels. Mike Trout just sits there looking. Not something you expect him to do, but Tommy La Stella doesn't as he takes this thing oppo field into left field. That is going to bring home another Angels run, and it's going to be 3-2 in the bottom of the third. Still runner in scoring position, and one of the guys you would not bet to hit a home run on this Angels team is Goodwin, and Goodwin with a 2-run blast. It's his 13th of the year, so he's hit a decent amount of home runs, but compared to Trout, Rendon, guys like that, you don't really expect Goodwin to come through with the big hit. So now here, another hit, going to make it 6-2, and Trout coming up, he's going to get that one through the second base hole. Another run coming home, the throw is not in time, and the Angels up 7-2 as Ronny Garcia was in there. And that is how it would end, as a scoreless final 3 innings, which isn't really what you would expect after the way the Angels jumped out. Player of the game is Felix Pena, CJ Crone, Jonathan Scope, and Yeimer Candelario, the only ones to hit extra base hits for us. Of course, Pena pitched a really nice game, went 5 innings. I would say Tehran definitely underrated in that, as he went 3 scoreless in relief. So now we take a look at the AA All-Star game. Cole Peterson is in that AA All-Star game. Probably one of the, I guess, middling people you would expect to be in it. He's only a C potential, but he's a decent overall for our AA squad. And there's a nice out as he throws on to first base. Cole Peterson making some good defensive plays. And here, starting the double play move, making the catch and making the throw. You love to see Cole Peterson contributing, as here he puts one into left field with a single, as our All-Star team is currently up 1-0. Here's Peterson again. He's going to rip this thing into left field, and that thing is going to get caught, unfortunately for him. So he gets pinch hit for, and look at that, 2 runs in the top of the 7th. That is going to make it 3-0, and our little guys just kick the crap out of the other team, as Cade Savik also in this game for our squad, representing our AA squad. And it is 6-1 it ends up, so we get the win there. Now looking at the Futures game in the majors here, taking a look at some of the biggest prospects across baseball. And the NL Futures looking like they have a much better future than the AL Futures until the 6th inning, where they put up a 4 spot. So the AL Futures end up putting up a 4 spot, and then they score 8 in the 9th. What? A 12-6 win for the AL Futures. Michael Toglia is the player of the game there. We didn't really have anyone playing in said game, so I didn't really take a huge look at it. As we continue to look on here, we only took 1 out of 3 against Houston, and we take a look at the AAA All-Star game. Caleb Joseph hit an RBI single in the 2nd inning. Yariel Gonzalez hit an RBI double in the 3rd inning to make it 2-0. Yangervis Solarte hit an RBI single in the 3rd to make it 3-0. Luis Garcia walked to make it 3-1 as he walked in with his run. Corey Lee walked in. It was 3-2. Caleb Joseph hit a solo shot to make it 4-2. Chet Huff hit a 2-run shot to tie the game. Nicky Delmonico hit a solo shot to make it 5 for us. Rene Rivera with a 2 RBI double made it 7 for us. And Colin Thoreau with an RBI single made it 7-5. As you turn around and look at that here, that RBI single coming up for the PCL All-Stars made it 7-5 in this game, but we were able to take the game. Love to see that, as we will now take a look at the Home Run Derby. Pete Alonso, Christian Yelich, Mike Trout, JD Martinez, Joey Gallo, Jose Abreu, Mookie Betts, and Eugenio Suarez. Some of the biggest home run hitters across our league right now. Joey Gallo wins over Pete Alonso, Eugenio Suarez over JD Martinez, Mookie Betts loses to Mike Trout, and Christian Yelich beats Abreu. Yelich ends up beating Trout, and Gallo ends up beating Suarez. Gallo beats Yelich to win the Home Run Derby. So nice to see Joey Gallo winning the Home Run Derby. He's got, obviously, tremendous power, and he uses it in this little mini championship. So now, going into the actual All-Star game, as we take a look here, Mookie Betts in the 3rd inning hit a solo shot for the National League. Then when we get to the 5th inning, Jose Abreu hitting an RBI single to tie the ball game up. Then in the 5th, Mookie Betts, again, a 2 RBI double for him in the 5th. And in the 6th, Giancarlo Stanton with a solo shot makes it 3-2 NL in the lead. And then Javi Baez pinch hits in the 8th inning. When we get to that section, it is 3-2 still. We'll get to the 8th inning here. Javi Baez going to pinch hit for the National League and hit a 2-run bomb. 5-2 National League. So they will have home field advantage in the World Series. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out as we take a look at the box score for the AA team. As we're taking one final look there just to make sure. Faedo was in that AA All-Star game as well. Most of our players that we had were in the AA All-Star game, which is why we're taking a look at this box score again. So now we move along, And you can see we only took 1 out of 3 against the White Sox as well. We got some big games looming against the Indians, so make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and you can't wait to see more Detroit Tigers franchise. We got through the All-Star game. Are there any trades you think we need to make? You need to let me know as we take one final look at the standings. Yankees and Twins looking like 2 of the absolute best teams in all of baseball right now. The Astros barely clinging to a little lead against the Angels. The Indians and White Sox look to be the wild card leaders in the American League. In the National League, the Nationals holding that slim lead over the Braves. The Brewers, slim lead over the Cardinals, but none of them blowing the doors off of anyone like the Dodgers are. Rockies and Braves currently holding the NL wildcard spots. That's all I have for you guys today. Make sure, again, you drop that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel and want to see more MLB 20 content, and I'll see you all soon.